Hey, I'm Alex. I'm a CPA with Stronghold Accounting, and we're going to talk about how much can you contribute as an S corporation owner to your 401k. So let's dive into it. So, a couple of things as you're thinking about this from an S corp owner perspective, what you have to realize is that your 401k contributions are a direct derivative from your W2 salary. That's why piecing your salary together at the correct amount is so important throughout the year. So you'll see here with my retirement calculator tool that we have, your salary, you can adjust this as needed. So let's say you are paying yourself, 150 a year. You can see how that changes your two sides of the equation. So you've got your contributions from payroll. This is the amount that you're going to be contributing from your W2 salary throughout the year. And then you also have on the flip side, from a business side, the business contributions. This is what the business actually contributes. This can be one time in bulk before year end, so it has a little bit more flexibility. But these are essentially the two elements you need to be thinking about: your contributions from payroll to the 401k and the contributions from the business itself. So you can see as I adjust this salary, that's going to change. This is already set to by default to maximize your amount. And so, let's walk through a basic scenario. So let's say, you know, in the inputs here, this is just going to be your standard IRS maximum rates on the W2 contribution side, the business contribution side. So you can play around with these inputs as needed, but those are the basic default ones for 2026. And then let's say if I expand this here, your scenario for your profit. So let's say you're estimating a profit of 250,000, right, for the year. So I'm going to put my salary at 0. So that puts my profit before salary, before contributions at 250K, right? So if we're estimating that for the year, let's say we're going to pay you a salary of 150, okay, right around that range for the year. So we're going to go 150, and you can see that's going to max out my contributions from payroll. That can go all the way up to 24,500 for 2026. So I'm capped there. I want to maximize that one, just so you know. I want to maximize that one because that happens throughout the year and can only be done through your W2 payroll. So that's going to be spread out over the course of the year. We're going to want that to go to the 401k. Now, what you have more flexibility over is the business contribution side. So from the business contribution side, and this by business contribution, I mean literally sending money from the business account to the 401k provider. It can be once a year at year end. It can be throughout the year sporadically. Now, typically, we'll hold off on this to make an evaluation at year end based upon, was my estimated profit at year end truly what I estimated it to be? Or do we have enough cash in the bank account, right? Because cash isn't always there. Cash is very different from profit on paper. So based upon that at year end, we can make a determination. Yeah, I'd like to max this baby out. Let's go all the way 37,500 and get my savings from 8,500 to 21,000. Not bad. Now, if we only have 20K of cash readily available to be put to a 401k, okay, that's fine. I can put 20,000 at year end. So that still gets me from 8 to 15,575 in tax savings. So what this result here is doing is it's taking the payroll contributions and the business contributions. So I have a total of 44,500, and assuming a 35% effective tax rate, we're getting estimated federal tax savings of 15,575. So this is a great tool to kind of play around with your contributions, both on the payroll side, the business side, as well as play around with that salary, how it impacts your limits. And you can also see, hey, if you put your salary too high, trying to maximize these federal savings up, it looks like my profit after my salary and contributions now went negative. So we obviously don't want that. And so play around with this tool. It's a great resource. I would say advanced retirement planning like this here is one of the highest ROI ways as a small business owner to save a ton of money on taxes. There's a lot of other strategies out there like real estate. Those take a lot of time. You got to buy property, you got to manage the property, a lot of stress, a lot of headache. In my opinion, the highest ROI strategy for tax savings for small business owners, specifically S corporations, is retirement. Like, it sounds boring, but it's literally moving money from one account to another. And in some scenarios, you're saving $20,000 plus in dollar for dollar savings per year. Like it's a no brainer at all. And so the key thing about this is putting your salary in an optimal position. And that's why being proactive about this is so important, because if we wait until year end to try to enact these calculations and contributions, we're already too late. We can't go back in time and update a W-2 salary after the year's over. And so I review this with our clients at minimum once every quarter to make sure their salary is in the optimal position based upon their net income from the business, based upon cash flow. And we want to max out the contributions from payroll and make an evaluation how much the business should be contributing to get to the most amount of tax savings without, while balancing also the cash on hand for the business, right? Because we want to save as much as possible, but we don't want to put ourselves in a disadvantageous position where the business cannot sustainably grow and invest in new opportunities. So that's kind of the way the calculator works. Give it a try. It's strongholdaccountants.com/retirement calculator. I'll put the link in the bio. Again, my name's Alex. And for most business owners that don't get any strategic insight, no guidance on their numbers, no clarity on their numbers, we help with our weekly subscription called the CPA System that covers the bookkeeping every single month. You're going to get CPA reviewed financials. You're going to get an expert advisor, unlimited CPA access in minimum quarterly meetings where we can talk about your numbers, your margins, your profits, as well as tax reduction strategies proactively throughout the year, like this advanced retirement calculator here, which is a great ROI strategy. So if you're interested in that, you can check out strongholdaccountants.com. Again, my name's Alex, the CPA with Stronghold Accounting. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.